Hi friends, I'm Laura Lowe, and today we're going to talk about musical intervals. This is the first of what will probably be several videos about intervals, and I'll provide links for those as I get them done. There's some things that you need to know before you can make sense of this video. First of all, you need to know the names of the white keys on the piano. Secondly, it's going to be a big help if you can name the lines and spaces of the musical staff. So if you've got those things under your belt, let's get started. What is an interval? In music, an interval is nothing more than the distance between two keys on the piano or two notes on the staff. It's the way we measure that distance. So let's go to the piano. So we know that an interval is how we measure the distance from one key to another key. The first interval we're going to look at is the interval of a second. From one key to the very next key is a second. 1, 2. Now you may also know that as a step in your piano music, but a step is the same thing as a second. The distance from C to E is a third. You may also know that as a skip because it skips over a note or a key, but a skip is the same thing as a third. I have a place for 3 hedgehogs within the space of a third. C to E is a third. I have a space for 2 hedgehogs within the space of a second. I have a spot for each of them. The distance from C to F is a fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. It takes up or it includes 4 keys. Or you can say we've got a spot for a hedgehog for 4 hedgehogs in the space of a fourth. Now let me warn you about something. This is a mistake I see students make. They'll say, okay, well, a fourth is up 4 keys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh, that's actually not a fourth, that's a fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when we're counting our intervals on the keys, we have to remember, or on the staff for that matter, we have to remember to count the starting key. 1, 2, 3, 4 is a fourth. There's only 2 keys in between and 2 keys that our fingers are on. All right. So I bet you know what the distance is from C to G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C to G is a fifth. Or I could also say G down to C is a fifth because we can measure intervals going up or going down. C to A is a sixth. I have a spot for 6 hedgehogs. C to B is a seventh. I have a spot for 7 hedgehogs. And then C up to the next C is the interval of an eighth. Now an eighth is a special interval. It has a special name. It's called an octave. O-C-T-A-V-E. Just like an octopus has 8 legs, an octave has 8 keys or 8 notes. And this is the symbol, the musical symbol that we use for octave. You'll see that sooner or later in your piano music. Now, intervals have 2 different kinds. Well, actually, they have lots of kinds, but the first 2 kinds that we're going to learn about are harmonic intervals and melodic intervals. A harmonic interval just means that those 2 notes are played together. Those 2 keys sound together. When I play them together, that makes them a harmonic interval. Here's a harmonic second. Here's a harmonic sixth. Here's a harmonic fifth. The other kind is a melodic interval, and they're played 1 note at a time, and that simply makes a melody. So E to F is a melodic second. C to G is a melodic fifth. E to C, played 1 note at a time, is a melodic sixth. All right, let's take this to the staff. When we have a step on the staff, that's the interval of a second. Now, it doesn't matter whether the second note is way over here or whether it's close by, because we're not measuring this distance. We're measuring the vertical distance, the up and down distance between the two keys. So from one line to the very next space is a second, or from one space to the very next line is a second. This distance is the distance of a third. From F to A is a third. We skip over that place, the place on the line, and we take up, or we include 3 positions on the staff between the first note and the second note, or we incorporate 3 positions on the staff. You'll also notice that this third goes from a space to a space. Thirds can also go from a line to a line. Now this is a melodic interval that I drew. Harmonic intervals to me are even easier to identify. Thirds look like this on the staff. Here's a fourth on the staff. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line, space, line, space. Makes up the interval of a fourth. Here's a fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Line, space, line, space, line. This is a fifth. Here's a sixth on the staff. 1 on the space, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Space, line, space, line, space, line. Interval of a sixth. Here's a seventh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here's an eighth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now there's another special interval. What if the 2 notes are in the same place on the staff? This is called a unison. Here's that word, unison. You may have seen this word if you sing in a choir. When you have 2 parts in the choir or more and they all sing the same thing, the same tune on the same notes, you're singing in unison. So unison has something to do with the same, right? 2 notes in the same space or on the same line and making the same sound are a unison. Now, if some of your notes have sharps or flats, let's say you've got something that looks like this. It doesn't change the number of the interval. This is still a third. Now in time, you'll learn to call this a minor third, but you don't have to know that word minor right now. We're just working on the number part. This is still a third, no matter what sharps or flats may be present. Doesn't matter. Still a third. So that's it for the first video on intervals. I hope it was helpful. Subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more explainer videos. Thanks. Bye.